Med Spa owners, are you sick and tired of dealing with broke leads who never buy any of your packages or memberships and only ever buy your introductory offer? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about 20 reasons why you never sell any packages or memberships, and then how you can fix those problems to start to sell more $2,000 plus packages to complete strangers. And so my name's Josh. I'm the founder of Wellness Leads. We specifically work with med spas and aesthetic practices, and I've consulted on lots of med spa sales processes for our clients, and that's given me the ability to see what our top clients are doing to sell anywhere from 30 to 80% of people coming in into a package or membership. And then we can also see what some of our clients struggle with and what's holding them back from selling those packages or memberships so that we can start to plug those holes. And so in this video, I'm just going to show you exactly what I've found after working with dozens of clients in this space so that you can start to plug some of those holes for yourself as well. So without further ado, the first reason that you aren't selling any packages or memberships is because you don't have any packages or memberships. And so I know this might sound kind of brain dead, but the reason that I'm saying this is because I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with a med spa and they're basically like, oh yeah, we kind of, we throw caution to the wind essentially. Like people just come in for a consultation, we learn exactly what they need, and then on the spot we'll build out like a package or a membership or a treatment plan of some sort. And that is very difficult to do. It's very difficult to put together a high value package or membership that they're getting a great deal and you're getting a great deal on the spot unless you have it very systemized. And so my recommendation is, instead of doing that, have pre-built packages or memberships that would help most people. And then what you can do is make slight minor adjustments to them on the spot at the end, but have those packages kind of built out in the first place so that you don't have to scramble at the end of your consultation. Number two is that you don't actually offer your packages or memberships. And so if you don't have them, it's going to be hard to sell them. And if you don't offer them, it's also going to be hard to sell them. I can't tell you how many times we've spoken with somebody before where they basically just get people in for some kind of introductory promotion. They just sell them the introductory promotion. They allow them to leave. And then what they do is they take that lead, they upload them into email marketing, or they do some kind of other marketing. And then they come back to me and they're like, Josh, why are not any of these people buying our packages or memberships? Like they're opening the emails, but they're not responding. Like they're not buying anything. And it's because you didn't try to sell them the package or membership in person when they are most likely to actually buy it in the first place. And so step one is have them. Step two is actually offer them. The third reason why is because you don't set good expectations before the appointment. This one is so crucial, but what ends up happening with a lot of these promotions is people see them and it's a lot of, let's say it's like a discounted first treatment that people are coming in for. They build this narrative in their head that this one miracle treatment is going to solve all of their problems and they're never going to need another single treatment. And so they're treating it like a Groupon deal. They're going to come in, they're going to get the facial, and then they're never going to talk to you again. And this is really difficult because when someone is coming in with that belief in their head, you are then fighting an uphill battle to try to undo that belief. And so what's much better to do is to just set the expectation before the appointment that, hey, this is not a miracle treatment. You are likely going to need multiple treatments in order to see your results. And we will tell you exactly what you need to see the results that you want to see upon arrival. And now if you're like, Josh, I have no idea how to set expectations with people, then hit the first link in the description below and you can learn more about how we could potentially just set the expectations for you for free, and you only pay us when a new patient actually comes in. Number four here is you don't wow people upon arrival. And so many medical appointments feel very similar, like whether you're going to the doctor, the dentist, or whatever it might be. You walk in, you walk up to the front desk person, they're on the phone, so they go just 1 second, and then after they're on the phone, they say, what's your name and what time's your appointment? And then they hand you a clipboard, you fill out some stuff, you give it back to them, and then they go, great, doctor's running 3 hours late today, so just sit down, sit tight, you're going to be sitting here for a while. That does not leave a good first impression, right? If people come in and that's how they're being treated for their appointment, then they're going to be like, oh, well, I mean, is this like, I don't want to come back to this place if this is how it's going to be every single time. And so what you want to do is you want to wow people upon arrival. You want to go the extra mile. You want to have somebody greet them with their name upon arrival. So like if you're expecting a Sarah at 4 p.m. and someone walks in the door, hey, Sarah? Oh, great. Yeah, I know you have your appointment at 4 p.m., right? Awesome. We're so glad that you're able to come in. Like just wow people and show that you're personalizing the appointment to them and that you genuinely care. On top of that, you could even be like, hey, do you want we have some drinks in the back, like do you want anything, like just offer things, like make them feel comfortable, and obviously try to be on time. But if someone's running behind, set that expectation, but then give them some keep them occupied in the waiting room, essentially is what I'm trying to say. You want to wow people upon arrival and have them feel truly taken care of. Otherwise they're just going to be like, why would I ever want to come back? And that's hindering your package sales. Number 5 is you don't have a consultation process. And so what ends up happening is if people come in and you're like, oh yeah, people come in, we say, hey, you came in for the promotion, right? And then we ask them like 1 or 2 questions. We sell them the treatment that they're there for, and then they leave. It's going to be very difficult to ever sell any packages or memberships if that is your consultation process. You need to have a specific process that you and your team also follow every single time, where you're not only getting people in for an introductory promotion, but you're also learning about what their problem is, what their goals are, what have they tried before that didn't work well. If you could wave a magic wand, what would their perfect look be? You need to also have it very structured and scripted out so that people can just follow a step-by-step process. The 6th reason here is that you don't ask the right questions during your consultation. And so, like I was kind of hinting at before, what we have found, and what I've found with a lot of med spas that we've consulted with before, is that the way their consultation works is people will come in for an introductory promotion and they'll say, hey, like we saw you were here for the promotion, right? Okay, gotcha. What areas are you interested in treating? And then they go, oh, I'm interested in XYZ. And you go, awesome. Okay, so here's how the introductory promotion works. And then you just go like right into selling the intro promotion before you've had a chance to actually learn about their problem. And so what's really important is that you ask questions in the beginning of your consultation that explains exactly where they are now, where they want to be, what they've tried in the past, what things have worked, what things haven't worked, why is now a good time for them to be doing this, and also why are you the right fit for them. If you don't ask questions that answer all of those things that I just said there, then it is always going to be difficult to sell packages or memberships because people will not feel the motivation to move forward. The 7th reason here is that you don't have proof. And so this goes without saying, but if I'm like, hey, come in, we're going to do all these amazing things, it's going to be great. That's fine, but like, does it work? Like, I don't know if it works or not. And so if you pair that with, hey, we're going to do all these amazing things and look at these 100 other people that it worked really well for, then that usually tends to work out a little bit better in terms of selling your packages or memberships, especially if you're like, hey, here's the package that we recommend for you. Here are 50 other people who went through this exact package and here are the results that they saw. That is so much more beneficial than just saying, take our word for it, right? The 8th reason is you expect to profit on the first promotion. And so when you are advertising to cold traffic, this doesn't really apply if you're one of these businesses that just solely relies on word of mouth and referrals and you don't do any outside marketing and you just like post on social media and hope that people like see your posts and then, hit the book button in your bio, which never happens anyways. If you're one of those businesses, this doesn't apply. But if you actually do real marketing and if you're actually running promotions to get people in the door, you can't have the expectation that introductory promotion is going to be your big money maker, right? You would need to like get hundreds or thousands of new patients in the door every single month for that to build a substantial profit for you. The purpose of the first promotion is to get people in the door and in the chair so that you can ultimately get them into a package, a membership, a treatment plan of some sort. And so that is a big mindset shift that we've had to have with a lot of our clients, where it's like, this introductory offer, this is not the thing. This is not the breadwinner. The real breadwinner is everything that comes after that. So the first promotion is just the foot in the door. The next promotions are where you make your true profit. And that's why you need to focus on what you can do to actually sell those things. The 9th reason is that you don't have an ascension path. And so let me quickly explain what an ascension path is. What an ascension path is basically the path that someone takes from the first visit all the way up until becoming a long-term recurring patient at your med spa. And so what a lot of med spas end up doing is they have an introductory promotion to get people in the door, but then they're not exactly sure what happens next. Like, what does the next package look like after if they say no to the package, what do we do? How do we get people into a membership, or how do we get them to pay us multiple times? And so an ascension path should include, at bare minimum, an introductory offer, multiple upsell offers, multiple downsell offers, and then also a continuity offer or a membership offer so that people can continue to pay you over time. And so if you don't have that specifically laid out before you start running a promotion, it's going to be very difficult. And I think that's why a lot of people feel screwed by agencies, is because they'll start to work with an agency, and maybe the agency generates you some leads and some appointments, but then you don't know what happens next. Like, what is the next step? What is the next thing that somebody buys? And if you don't have that planned out, it's going to be very difficult to make any money with your advertising. The 10th reason that you don't sell any packages or memberships is that you don't have reasons to move forward today. And so you need to create compelling reasons for them to move forward with a package or a membership in that moment. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to push it off forever and ever and ever. And then eventually it's going to be 3 months down the line, they've completely forgotten about it. They don't care anymore. And so a really great way to have incentives to move forward today is to have same day bonuses, have a guarantee that you offer only to people that move forward that day. offer to credit the initial promotion to the package if they move forward that day. And then also, like I talked about before, this really depends on the questions that you ask in the beginning. But if you ask the right questions during the consultation, then you will create motivation and you will create urgency to move forward, because someone will be thinking, yeah, like I really do want to solve this problem. I want to solve it now. I don't want to wait any longer. And then that creates motivation to move forward today as well. The 11th reason that you don't sell any packages or memberships is that you are afraid to use a guarantee. And so I brought up guarantees, and almost always the unanimous response is, oh no, we're not willing to do a guarantee. Like, we're not willing to put any skin in the game. And now this is probably holding you back, because a lot of people, especially with medical spa treatments or aesthetic treatments that could potentially alter the way that you look, people have so much fears, doubts, insecurities. What if it goes wrong? What if things don't go well? And so when you introduce a guarantee that essentially reverses that risk, it helps people who have those fears of not moving forward. And it's the same people that tell you it's too expensive. Those same people would potentially move forward if you just took on more of the risk yourself. And so I've talked about this in a previous video before as well. But for example, let's say that you do like a filler promotion. You could say, hey, and also we have our filler dissolver guarantee. So if for whatever reason we get to the end and the look that you have, it isn't what we planned on, then what we'll do is we'll offer you a free filler dissolver session on us so that we can return you back to baseline. Now their fear of like, what if I look terrible after this? It's completely reversed, right? And so using guarantees like that that help people get over their fears, but are also very unlikely to even take place, they will almost always get you more sales of your packages and your treatment plans. Number 12 is you don't ask for the sale. And so even if you run a perfect consultation, if you ask the right questions, you get people super excited and motivated, and you explain, hey, here are our options. If you then kind of leave it off awkwardly and you're like, yeah, these are our package options, and then you don't say anything after that, and then people are like, cool, all right, well, nice. Okay, I'll think about it, and then I'll get back to you on, if I want to do something like this. Well, let's just start with the introductory offer. The reason that happens is because you didn't even ask for the sale. You have to say, hey, would you like to buy? And now you don't have to say it necessarily in those words, but you have to ask them in one way or another if they would like to move forward with a package or a membership. And so my suggestion, and one of the easiest ones that you can do, is what's called an A/B close. This is where you give people two different options that are both resulting in them moving forward with you. And so, for example, you could say, hey, let's say that you just explained your financing option or something like that. You could say, hey, would you prefer to move forward with the prepaid option and save a little bit of money up front, or would you prefer to move forward with our financing option? And now both of those options are moving forward with you. And when you ask that question, you are essentially asking for the sale. Another easy one is, hey, would you prefer to use the card on file, or would you like to use the card on file, or anything holding us back from moving forward with that package today? Anything like that is where you are asking for the sale, and you have to ask. It's something that it feels scary in the beginning, especially when you're first kind of diving into this stuff, but like, you need to just ask. You need to ask for the sale. The 13th reason that people aren't buying is because you are against hard selling. Now, I want to be very, very, very clear here. I am also against hard selling. I am not suggesting that you should manipulate people or you should make them feel pressured to move forward or anything like that. But I've seen that there is a very common mindset, especially in the aesthetic space, where people are like, oh no, like we don't do sales. Like, it's like sales is this ugly, disgusting used car salesman thing where they don't even look at it. They don't even think about it. And it's like sales is sleazy and like you have to pressure people, and like we don't do that. If people say no, like they don't want to move forward with the package, then like that's totally fine, and we just let them walk out the door and we never follow up with them. We never talk to them again. There needs to be a huge mindset shift with this, where like you are not hard selling. You are simply just helping people solve the problem that they have, right? And so if you get somebody in the door who has a problem that you can solve, they say that they're excited and they're motivated to solve that problem, and you have solutions to that problem, then there is no reason that you shouldn't provide those solutions to their problem. And it is totally fine to get creative in ways that you can solve their problem. So for example, if someone says like, honestly, that sounds like a lot of money, then it is totally reasonable for you to introduce your financing options to solve the problem of this is a lot of money, right? And so we need to change the mindset from like, oh, I don't like to do the hard sales thing. And we need to start to change that mindset to like, I am truly a problem solver and I will do what I need to in order to solve this person's problem. If they're excited, they're motivated to move forward, and they indicate that they want to solve this problem, but they have issues or something holding them back from doing so, then it is your job as a collaborator to work with them to solve that problem so that they can move forward with the thing that they just told you that they want. The 14th reason here is that you take I need to think about it at face value. So somebody comes in, they say, hey, I need to think about it. This all sounds really great, but I'm just going to think about it. And you go, oh yeah, totally. Think about it and get back to me. And then guess what? They never get back to you because they never do. They never will. The reason for that is because I need to think about it is a smokescreen. I just recently made another video on my channel. You can go find that about specifically how to handle this objection when someone says I need to think about it so that you can turn it into a sale. But long story short, you need to understand that this is a smokescreen. I need to think about it truly means nothing. There's something else in their mind that is holding them back from moving forward, and it is your job as the provider to understand what is that thing that's holding them back from moving forward so that you can then solve that problem. The 15th reason here is that you take it's expensive as a no. And so somebody says, hey, this is it's just really expensive. Like, I need to check my budget. Like, this is a lot of money to pay up front. And you go, oh, totally. That makes sense. If things ever change or if like your budget ever adjusts or if you do find the money somehow, feel free to let us know, reach back out, and that's totally fine. The reason that this is not a good thing to do and just kind of taking it as a no is because a lot of the times you probably have solutions to their money problem. And so, for example, financing is a solution to their money problem. You could also have downsells that are a solution to their money problem. Third-party financing is fantastic because you can help them make it less expensive today while also collecting all the cash up front for your business. So that's just one example, but saying, hey, this is expensive, that doesn't necessarily mean no. That just means, hey, let's work together to find a problem or find a solution to your problem, assuming that they were excited and motivated about the plan that you suggested to them. The 16th reason is that you take I need to talk to my spouse as a no. So same thing, someone says, this all sounds great, I just need to talk to my spouse, I need to talk to my partner, my friend, my family, whatever, right? And you go, okay, no worries, talk to them and get back to us. Again, what you're doing there is you're just kind of releasing them without getting any kind of further commitment. And a lot of the times, just like with I need to think about it, I need to talk to my spouse is often a smokescreen as well, because most people do not have to talk to anybody. That's just their way of getting out of the conversation. Now, you will occasionally get somebody who's like, oh, like I don't make a decision above $1,000 before talking with my spouse or talking with my husband, my wife, whatever it might be. If that's the case, then that's a little bit different. But if somebody is just saying like, oh yeah, I just need to talk it over with my my spouse and then I'll get back to you, a lot of the times that's a smokescreen, and you need to understand what the true concern is. Like, what do you want to talk to them about, right? You have to understand what the true concern is so that you can help them solve that problem as well. The 17th reason here is that you don't offer third-party financing. And so third-party financing is great for both parties. It's great for you because you can collect the cash up front. It's great for them because you can split it into flexible payments. So if somebody doesn't want to pay the cash directly to you up front and they say this is too expensive, there's no reason that you shouldn't have third-party options or third-party financing options for them, because it works for both parties. And so if you don't currently have any partners with third-party financing, Cherry, PatientFi, any of those types of things, then go apply for those and start to get those set up. At the bare minimum, if you can't get approved for third-party financing for whatever reason, then you can just offer in-house financing as well. It's a little bit riskier because if people default on their payments, you're kind of just shit out of luck. But at the bare minimum, you should have some kind of financing available. The 18th reason is that you don't follow up with people. And so if people come in for a consultation, you explain your packages, your treatment plans, and they still don't move forward for whatever reason, even after you've handled all of their objections, and then the appointment is over. If you don't have some kind of plan to follow up in place, then it is very difficult to sell a package or a membership. So for example, you should almost always try to book a meeting from your meeting. So for example, if somebody comes in for a consultation, they don't move forward, you want to try to get them back on the calendar for some reason or another, whether it's a checkup, whether it's for a free bonus that was a part of the promotion that they were there for. You want to get people back in the doors so that you can follow up with them and ultimately try to get them back into a package or a membership. But at the bare minimum, you should follow up with people over email, over text. You should follow up with people in any way that you can communicate with them. But the key here is that you want your follow-up to be valuable and not just like annoying, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Like, you want to buy yet? You want to buy yet? Which I'll talk about later. The 19th reason that people aren't buying packages or memberships is because you don't celebrate when they say yes. And so this is especially true if you've ever had a scenario where someone initially says, sure, I want to move forward, but then they come back to you afterwards and they're like, I thought about it and I changed my mind. I don't want to move forward anymore. What you need to do is if someone does say, yes, I want to move forward with the package, you need to make it like it is the biggest deal in the entire world. You need to go, that is so awesome. I'm so excited. This is going to be so great for you. And then what you need to do is you need to clearly set expectations and say, here's what our next steps are. Let's get your next appointment on the calendar. And then you need to surprise them with a whole bunch of stuff. Like, for example, if you write a handwritten note for them and just tell them how excited you are to welcome them to the team or welcome them to the family. If you have some kind of bonus gift that they weren't expecting, like a t-shirt or like a little skincare sample or something like that you just give to them. If you also call them a couple hours after their appointment just to check in and say, hey, I know we did the first treatment today. I just wanted to check in on you, see how things were going. Even if they don't pick up, if you just leave a voicemail like that, all of these little things like that, they're going to go like, wow, okay, this company truly cares about me. They're truly thinking about me. I definitely want to continue to move forward with this. Otherwise, what happens is they start to get buyer's remorse. And then if you aren't celebrating their decision, then all of a sudden they start to ruminate and they're like, did I make the right decision? And then they decide they don't want to do it anymore. And number 20, this is the last reason here, is that you don't practice sales. So you don't sell packages or memberships because you aren't practicing. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with one of our clients before, and they have the consult process all set out. They know how to handle the objections, but then what ends up happening is they have people come in for the consult, and they're just like a deer in headlights every single time. And they're like, why does this feel so unnatural to me? Like, why can't I get through this process? It's because you don't practice. Like, if I wanted to become the best three-point shooter in the NBA, it would probably help if I started shooting three-pointers, right? It's the same thing with this. You need to, if you want to become better at sales, and if you want to start to sell more packages or memberships, then you need to practice selling packages or memberships. That could look like doing mock consultations with people. That could look like using flashcards to practice objections. That could look like 1,000 different things. But if you want to get good at anything, you need to practice, and this is no different. So instead of doing all of those things, what you should do instead, and I kind of hinted at all of this throughout the video, but what you should do instead is you should create package and membership options. You should always offer them to people. You should always set the expectation that results come after multiple treatments before the appointment. You should wow people the minute that they walk into your clinic. You should have a consultation process that you and your team follow every single time without fail. You should ask questions to understand where they are currently, where they want to be, what they've tried in the past that didn't work, what it would mean for them if they didn't ever solve this problem, and why they want to solve it today, why they want to solve it right now. You should collect proof that what you do actually works as quickly as possible. So you should get that proof as quickly as possible, and you should also get it in as much quantity as possible. Get as much proof as you possibly can. The more, the better. You should expect your first offer, your first promotion to break even, and you should expect the profit to come from the next subsequent offers, from the upsells, the downsells, the memberships. You should develop an ascension path. That is a clear path that patients can follow from the intro offer to the upsell offers to the downsell offers all the way through to the membership offers. You should include bonuses and incentives for same-day action and ask better questions at the beginning to increase the urgency of people wanting to move forward. You should use a guarantee that reverses the fears in their heads, especially if you lack the proof. You need to have a guarantee that reverses some of those fears, doubts, insecurities in their head. You should ask for the sale. You should actually ask them if they want to buy. You should embrace that sales is the lifeblood of your business, not something reserved for used car salesmen. You should understand that I need to think about it is just a smokescreen that needs to be cleared. You should present solutions to the problem of this is too expensive. You should understand that I need to talk to my spouse is a smokescreen that needs to be cleared. You should apply for third-party financing and at the bare minimum finance in-house. You should follow up lots of times in lots of ways with lots of value. You should celebrate when someone says yes, and you should practice this every single day. So I hope this video is helpful. If you would like help with developing your sales process, and also not only that, but also getting qualified leads in the door who are ready and motivated and excited to move forward with the package or membership, and if you'd like for us to do that for you completely free, and you only pay us when you actually get a new patient, then go ahead and hit the link in the description below, the very first link, to learn a little bit more about that and potentially book a call with us to learn more about how we could do that for your practice. So thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.